Okay, so I'll be starting from here. So again, good morning to all. Before starting my class, I just want to inform you and give you one information that on Saturday, 4th July, one webinar is being arranged by Mangal Newton School, and I request all the parents to attend that webinar as it is regarding online classes during Corona time. Is it clear? I want that parents should come and attend that webinar. They should attend that webinar uh, on Saturday. So today, again, I'm starting with the definition. We are just revising it. What is the definition of a verb? A verb is a word which says something about a subject. They are also called action words. This everybody knows. Now, in example, I have written, the man killed a snake. The man is a subject, killed is a verb, a snake is an object. Because the action is done by the subject. What action is done? Killed. And why a snake is an object? Because when we put a question to the subject, the man killed what? We get an answer, a snake. So here, subject, killed verb, a snake, object. Now moving on, kinds of verbs. First was transitive verb. A verb which requires an object after it to complete its sense is called a transitive verb. Like the boy pulled the box. Now, when I ask the question what or whom to the subject, I will find the object. Like when I put a question, what did the boy pull? I am getting the answer, the box. So here the word box is called the object of the verb pulled. Now next part is intransitive verb. A verb which does not require an object to complete its sense but makes good sense by itself is called an intransitive verb. In the example, you can see birds fly. Birds is the subject, fly. Only this verb is completing the sense of the sentence. I am not adding any other word to make it sensible. So here the verb fly itself makes complete sense and does not require an object after it to make complete sense. Is it clear? Now, verbs also tell what they are. Example, I am a teacher. We are farmers. It is a rose. Now the words here am, are, is. They are telling what something or someone is. Like I am a teacher. They are called being verbs. So being verbs are am, which is used with I, is with singular, are with plural in present tense, was and were in past tense, was in present, was in singular and were in plural. Be, being and been. Again, has, have and had are verbs which show possession. Example, she has some new story books. So these story books belong to her. I have a pen. So this pen belongs to him. They had some new stamps which were stolen. So these new stamps belong to them. Now, verbs also tell us what people are saying, thinking, and feeling. Such verbs are called saying verbs. Example, I think this is a good idea. This picture looks very nice. So this was the revision which I did yesterday. Now I am moving to my next topic, and this is a new topic for you. Verbs of incomplete predication. The word predication itself tells us that it is the second part of the sentence. Okay. So now one thing we have to remember that this verbs of incomplete predication is always in intransitive verbs where there is no object. And so we can define intransitive verbs which require some words or words after them to make complete sense is known as verbs of incomplete predication. I'll explain you with the sentence. See, now I have written here 3 sentences. The first one is, the old man is tired. The teacher became angry. Sita seems happy. Now in 3 sentences, I have made tired, angry and happy as red. Why? Because, see, if I am not adding these words, if I am reading till here, the old man is, the teacher became, Sita seems. There is no meaning in the sentence. It is an incomplete sentence. So here, what is the main thing? The verbs is, become, became, and seems. They are making no meaning to themselves. They are not telling any meaning. So they are verbs of incomplete predication. Which verbs are verbs of incomplete predication? Is, become, and seems, because they are not giving any meaning to the subject. It is an incomplete sentence. So these verbs is, become, seems. They are called verbs of incomplete predication. Now, something is added to them to make them some sense. And what something is added? I have added tired, I have added angry, and I have added happy. But what I have added is not object. Why they are not object? Because they are not nouns. They are not pronouns. Tired, angry, happy, they are not nouns or pronouns. Therefore, these verbs are not transitive. Why these words are not transitive? Because transitive verbs always have object with them. So in these sentences, some words are added to form complete predicate. How they are forming complete predicate? See, the old man. The old man is what? Subject. Is tired is your predicate. So up till here, if I am writing, it is incomplete, verb of incomplete predication. But only by adding a word tired, the sentence is giving some sense. And this tired is not an object. It is a word. Okay, angry and happy, they are other words. They are some other part of speech, but they are not noun or pronoun. So such words are called complements. Which words are called complements? Tired, angry, happy. Understand. Is, become, became, and seems. They are verbs of incomplete predication. Why they are verbs of incomplete predication? Because these verbs are part of predicate, but they are not giving complete meaning. But when I am adding tired, angry, happy, the sentence is becoming meaningful. So these words are complements. Tired, angry, happy. Now I'll explain again. The word tired is a complement to the verb is. Tired is a complement to is. Why? Because by adding tired, is the use of is also coming and the sentence is also becoming complete. The word angry is a complement to the verb became. The word happy is a complement to the verb seems. So here, tired, angry, happy. These 3 words are complements, and is, became, and seems. These 3 verbs are verbs of incomplete predication. Children, in your course, it is only complement. In your exercise 5, which is given on page number 19, you have only complement. But until and unless you will not understand what are verbs of incomplete predication, you will not be able to understand complements. That is why I have explained verbs of incomplete predication so that it is clear. So now you can define a word or phrase. Phrase is what? A incomplete set of words. Okay, it is not giving meaning. Like suppose here I have added tired. I could have added 1, 2 words also. Like a dog is an animal. So an animal is more than 2 words. And if I say an animal, it is not giving full meaning. So that is called a phrase. So a word or phrase required to form a complete predicate is called a complement to the verb. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear? Okay. Wait. I'll come back. Okay. I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll come back to you. Okay. Now I'll be, if you want, then I can start with my exercises. I can do a revision of my exercise. And if you want, then I'll just